I said Obama reached out to all the black people that he let go to the White House when he got elected. Because, we were all supposed to be so proud the first black man got in. So people like Snoop and Taraji P. Henson, when they heard that I was sneak dissing the Obamas on Facebook and shit, they rallied as a group of entertainers and put some money together. And I felt like they tried to come at me. And like I said, I came at Taraji back. I thought Taraji was the biggest embarrassment.
Chicago
simply because if you're a teacher,
Street,
most of the time you're invited to the IEP meeting to talk about the child from the perspective of your room, and you're at the meeting with other teachers. Sometimes it could just be one teacher, one gym aide, and then the principal and the IEP person. But when you're in junior high, you're supposed to have all the teachers for every class at the table, and then you're supposed to have the principal, assistant principal, you're supposed to have the special education department. All these people are supposed to meet at the table, and we're supposed to talk as a group, not just about one person's view. So when Taraji had the nerve to talk about her schooling in California and what they did, I thought, well, first, your school system was different than mine in Minnesota. I bet $1. And I bet that y'all didn't have the funding that we had, and you didn't have the supports and services. And although there was a basic IEP, which from the federal government standpoint, created way back in 1897, if you use it in that manner, because again, under Arnold Schwarzenegger, I thought the state in and of itself was racial. He only really wanted to use police, like, the Terminator for Californians, and then as he governed, he was more for the stars, right? So for the stars and his stars perspective, being Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, that's how he got elected. And it was all about California, Hollywood, and the perspective of Paramount, Mayor Goldwyn, and the theater companies that was making the movies, right? So then from that perspective, I thought that's how he was governing California. So I really didn't think that they had a lot of education funds, because those stars wasn't really paying taxes like that. In fact, a lot of y'all don't pay taxes. I just heard on Twitter, one of y'all got hit, was it, with $500K, not paying your taxes? You get them checks. And like I said, I asked, when you get a check for a salary, an annual salary, is it one big lump sum? Do they take taxes out? Or are you, bound to go to a tax professional? Like the one that was doing Shayla's taxes. Shayla had an Asian doing her taxes for 2 years in a row, right before she died. My nephew Pooter went to the Africans. He had his taxes done by the Africans. My nephew Pooter got flagged. I said, Pooter, when it says 500 or above, like, you could claim charity, right? Like, go drop some goods off at the Goodwill. They're going to give you a receipt. If you do that enough, you can reach the standard of getting the $500 deduction, right? Don't go over 500, because then if you're doing that, you got to prove that the Goodwill is giving you receipts for items, above cost. And they're not doing that. They're just not doing that. Like the Salvation Army, they get a shelf in there for $350, and it's broken, missing screws. They're going to sell it for $275. You dropped it off and got a receipt. They're really making it come up as a place where, it's for the poor who can't afford it. So some poor person might be able to fix that cabinet where the few screws are missing that they're selling at the Goodwill, right? They're selling it for a lower cost. Some people don't even need the receipt. They just drop it off and keep going. Because, we're just bougie. We get our deductions elsewhere. Like with lottery. I read one time you could use your lottery as a donation under charity. And then if you save so many lottery tickets, you can prove that you get that $500 deduction for lottery under charity. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but again, I wanted to take the tax class so I could learn taxes. I was going to do my own taxes, right? H&R Block.